Hello and welcome to the magical world of words. I am so sorry that I am a little bit late. My name is Arianna Ross. I am the executive director of Tapestries. We are an arts and educational organization, and we are grateful that we are able to offer Magical World of Words on Wednesdays. The reason we call it a magical world of words is because I always believe that every word has the power to shift, to change, to open up your mind. I remember when I was little, I had a certain perspective on the world, right? I grew up in a house in Bethesda. I went to Wingate Elementary School. From Wingate Elementary School, I went to Tilden. Then I went to Walter Johnson High School. And after Walter Johnson High School, I had the opportunity to go to Northwestern University in Chicago. And that was very different. I remember arriving in Northwestern University and it was freezing. And I had not experienced cold weather like that in my entire life. I mean, DC cold, Chicago cold, totally different. Now, between, and this is really important, between when I was little to when I went to college, I had some very unusual things in my life happen. I got to be a part of an organization called CISV, Children's International Summer Villages. And with that organization, I traveled to Mexico City, where I did an exchange, and I was part of a diplomacy group of 11 groups of young people from around the world. And then when I was 13, I did another exchange with someone from Egypt. I went and lived in Egypt for 4 weeks, and then someone came and lived with me. And then when I was 17, I went to Israel. And I have to tell you, and this is the honest truth, that opportunity to travel with that organization changed my perspective. It meant that when I talked to people, I didn't look through the world through one narrow set of ideas. I could never say that I understood someone from another country or understood their perspective, but I could empathize. I had perspective. I found myself listening and learning. And when I became an adult, I would travel to countries, and my favorite thing in the world to do was to sit in a coffee shop and just have people come and sit with me and tell me stories. Because the more stories that I absorbed, the more that I learned about the rest of the world, the more that I could be a better person. The more that I found myself understanding, and understanding is a gigantic word, so maybe understanding isn't the right word. The more I could find myself listening more effectively, relating to, paying attention to people and their stories. So when Story Tapestries became an executive, when I became a not-for-profit, I became an executive director, I found myself, and these are my girls, I'm gonna remind my oldest daughter to please come get my youngest daughter and take her upstairs, please. Thank you so much. So when I became an executive director and I had the chance to create this organization and really foster stories, in our 10-year anniversary, I discovered the value of find a voice, tell a story. And I really realized that to me is more about my journey and the youth's journey. How do you help people find their voice? How do you expose people to other stories? How do you show people that their story is valuable? How do you support them on their journey? So this is one of my favorite folk tales. It is definitely about a journey. When Madia Poito was born, he was born with one wing and one leg. Madia Poito, he was a different chicken because most chickens had 2 wings and they had 2 legs. And definitely Madia Poito, he was a little bit stubborn. He would say to his mama, "Mama, yo quiero, I want. Yo quiero, yo quiero, yo quiero, yo quiero, yo quiero." And his mama, she would give him everything he wanted. "It's okay, Madia Poito, go, go, go. Sure, Madia Poito, sure, Madia Poito." And one day Madia Poito said, "Mama, yo quiero, I want to go see the king." So Madia Poito, his mama, she told him, "Okay, but you are a chicken. You have 1 wing and 1 leg. How are you going to see the king?" "I will hop." So Matia Boito, he left his house the next morning as the sun was rising in the sky, and he hopped out of his home. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap, tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. About a third of the way through his journey, he stopped. And he fell asleep. He took a nap right against a tree. When he woke up, he heard a voice. It was crying out, "Ayúdame!" which in Spanish means help. But the Apuito looked around. My mama always told me to help. He looked first at his left. Then he looked to his right. Then he looked down. Then he looked up. And then up. He looked straight ahead and he saw it was the water and it was crying out, "Ayúdame!" And the Apuito thought to himself, this is awfully strange. He looked at the water and he noticed there was a stick. And the stick was blocking the water. But he noticed if he moved the stick, the water would flood the land. "Oh, I am so sorry, Agua. I cannot help you. If I help you, I will hurt myself." So he turned and he hopped away. "Help me out now with a tippy-tap, 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 tap. Tippy-tap, 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 tap." Another third of the way, he fell asleep again. He was tired. But this time again, he woke up with a start. He heard a voice crying out, "Ayúdame!" He looked around. He looked to the left. He looked to the right. And that is when he saw fire. The fire was crying out, "Ayúdame!" No. That is dangerous. If I move that, no. If I move that leaf, you will breathe and everything will catch fire. No. And he hopped away. Well, the third time he stopped, he heard again the voice crying out, "Ayúdame!" And he looked around. He thought to himself, again, what is that voice? And he looked up. Nada, nothing. He looked to the right. Nada, nothing. He looked down. Nada, nothing. He looked straight. Nada. He looked to the left and he saw it was a bush. And it wasn't the bush crying out help. It was the wind. The Abuelito knew he could help the wind, so he used his beak, just like that, and the wind escaped. By the time the Abuelito got to the palace, he was tired. He looked around. He did not know how he was going to find the king. He had an idea. He was going to offer the king his services as an alarm clock. He knew that he was very good at waking the farmer up, so he could wake the king up. Which is when he saw a head stick out a window. The man who the head belonged to had a white cap on his head. He leaned over and he grabbed my dear Puito. "Oh, chicken. I like chicken soup." But the Abuelito thought to himself, this is not good. This is not good. He tried to explain to the chef, "I am here to see the king. I am here to be the king's alarm clock." But the chef didn't care. He put Matia Puito into a pot of water. He turned the fire on, and immediately the water started to get warm. Matia Puito cried out, "Water, water, do not boil so high. Fire, fire, do not burn so bright." Neither the water nor the fire hurt him. But the Abuelito thought, I just want my mama. When he saw another head. It was actually two heads. It was the king and the queen. But the Abuelito looked at them and thought, this is my chance. I will tell them, "Bark, bark, 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 bark. I am here to be your alarm clock." But the king didn't understand chicken. He leaned over, he grabbed that chicken. Ugh. Why I have to keep this chef on? He put a whole chicken into our soup, feathers and all. This is ridiculous. And he opened up the door and he threw the chicken out. But the chicken didn't hit the ground. He seemed to fly. He flew up and he flew across the forest and he landed right on the top of his home, on top of his farmhouse. But the Abuelito said, "Oh, muchas gracias. Thank you so much, wind. Thank you for helping me. But I need to get down to the ground. But the wind said nothing. Oh, Maria Puito, he could see his mama on the ground. He said to her, bark, 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 bark. And then he saw the farmer come out. The farmer looked up. Ah. As Maria Puito was moving around, the farmer thought to himself, today is going to be a windy day. And that is when Maria Puito realized that he had found his voice and he knew his story. He was going to be the weather vane. He would let the farmer know whether it was going to be a windy day, a sunny day, and how his life was going to be in the outside world. And to this day, all over the world, you can find tiny little Maria Puitos, one-winged chickens, helping us to tell the weather. My friends, take your hands like this. Bring that story to a close. Give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back. Thank you so much for joining us for Magical World of Words. We have another wonderful, wonderful individual joining us at noon, then at 3, and then, of course, at 6 p.m. Please understand that these are free programs, but if you would like to support Story Tapestries, I will make sure to put in the comments our website, and you can go there and you can donate, or you can hashtag donate through an organization called Good World. Thank you again for joining us, and have a wonderful Wednesday.